To bring people up to the stage. Can anyone hear me? Whoa. Okay. You're in. Oh,
hi. Can you hear me?
Good thing I opened my mouth. I got lipstick on here. I can hear you.
I think there's a delay on my computer, just FYI. I think my internet is slow over here.
I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, good. I'm so excited to be here. You good, girl. You good.
I was like, wait, am I going to miss this time? My family's having a whole barbecue in the backyard. I'm like, ah.
I left. I had my husband send me to a hotel so that they can do whatever they want to do this weekend.
Hi, Nicole. You're in.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Fix my hair.
Nicole, I like that pink.
Thank you.
Hopin is tricky. This is my second time doing a session on Hopin, and it's a great platform. It's just so tricky.
Yeah, during the run through, I could not get my audio and video to work, and I was just like, no.
Don't feel bad. Charisse and I were on iPads because I was out, and I was like, I know this thing doesn't work on the iPhone. I didn't think it would be in Hopin today.
Yeah, and I forgot because I did an event on Hopin last year, and I forgot that I had to do it from the computer. So I was sitting here like, I did it on my iPad last year. No, you didn't, Charisse. You had the same problem.
You would think by now, I guess, since so many events are virtual, Hopin would allow for everything. And I was like, okay, am I in Chrome? I got to make sure everything's right.
Yeah. But I'm happy to be here.
Excited.
Yes.
Where's Jessie?
I think she's trying to get in now.
Oh.
Hello, Tori. Just waiting for one more panel.
You ladies look so beautiful. I feel like I need to go put something else on.
No, you don't. You're on your momcation. It's whatever you want to do.
All these mamas with their red lipstick. I need to go get some red lipstick today.
I know. I was looking at everyone's lip color today too. Like, ooh.
First time orange, and I was like, wait, this is green and white. This is like giving me like Florida Rattlers vibes. Let me switch it out right quick.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Hi, lady.
That top when you done with it.
Target.
That isn't that the place?
Target. And I think the dresses are like 20% off this week. There's Jessie.
Yay! I was starting to panic.
And guess what? You got in at 3:35. Oh God.
Here.
Hi, Jessie.
Good. Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yay.
We can see you. We can hear you. The ladies are funneling in. We'll give it about 30 seconds. And
Dope.
ladies, as you're getting in and getting into the room, if you're having an awesome time at the Momference so far, drop an emoji in the chat, drop a word that has says what you're feeling right now. Just drop it in the chat as we wait for everyone else to get in. Got some cups being filled. Okay. Like it. Seen. Nothing like being seen by people who are in the struggle with you together. We're trying to not just survive, but thrive. Refresh. Encourage.
No emojis.
A lot of encouragement.
This is exciting.
And Jessie, you're on site at the Momcation, right?
I am.
Nice. What is the energy like there?
It is a lot. It is a lot, but in the best way. I'm an extrovert, so I like to talk to people, and I've been pretty active on social media. So finally getting to meet a lot of the people that I've interacted with online has just been very, very nice.
Awesome. And Nicole, where are you based out of?
I'm in Maryland. I'm not on site this year, but I live in the area.
And Charisse is 3 hours behind us, calling in from the left coast.
Yes, I'm in Los Angeles.
Yes. So it's a little earlier in your day. Awesome. So ladies, we are going to go ahead and get this conversation started. I know it's been an action-packed day. Everyone is just filled with so much encouragement. And I've seen a lot of people that dropped in the chat. They're feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, seen, which is something as mothers we hardly ever seen. But we thank you all for joining our session this afternoon, the Working Mom Toolkit. Today, we will talk a lot about how to juggle being a mom and business as well. But first, we would like to let you all know that this session is sponsored by Little Likes Kids. So check them out. Thank you so much for sponsoring this session and for your participation in the Momference. We know that sponsors like yourself is how conferences like this really get put on. So thank you again, Little Likes Kids, for sponsoring this amazing session, the Working Mom Toolkit. So to check the description for this session, I'll give you a brief description. Being a working mom, a snack mom, and a virtual school momager is not easy by no means. We're going to build our mommy toolkit together, including practical ideas, schedules, which you may or may not stick to, and activities to merge our children into our day-to-day working lives. And I am just so excited to be with you all today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ebony Dilworth, aka the Millennial Mama on Instagram. I'm a New Jersey-based mama. I have a busy 3.5-year-old toddler who thankfully is taking a nap right now. And I am 4 months pregnant with my baby girl. So as you can see, I've been busy this pandemic.
Yes,
I've definitely been busy this pandemic on top of work and school, juggling a full-time corporate career, a nonprofit organization, and my platform, The Millennial Mama. So it's just kept me busy, and I'm just ready to talk to these ladies and learn more. You can never learn enough about how we're going to build our mommy toolkit. So without further ado, I will introduce you all to our esteemed panel of ladies today who we'll be chatting with. So first, we'll talk about Nicole, aka Polished Playhouse, if you don't know her on Instagram. Nicole uses her platform to inspire moms through developmentally appropriate activities, child-friendly interior design. I need to take tips. That is not my strong area. And diverse book recommendations through monthly book-based activity box. So make sure you check out the Polished Playhouse if you're running out of ideas. I know we're going into the summer and we want to keep these kids busy.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Nicole.
So excited to be here. Have connected with so many moms in this area on Instagram. Excited. Me and Jessie go way back. She's like my OG Insta mom friend. So really excited for our discussion today.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Next, we have, again, from the West Coast, so give her some props for being here early on a Saturday afternoon, Miss Charisse Simms. So Charisse is an educator, coach, trainer, and mother who believes that all children are brilliant, even those who've grown into adults. That makes me feel better about my adulthood. The Hidden Gems Preparatory Academy, serving children in preschool through 8th grade in the greater LA area. Charisse finds her ultimate joy, fulfillment, and personal growth in her ability to inform, inspire, and empower educators and families. Give it up for Charisse. I know I can't hear you all clap, but let's give it up for Charisse.
Thank you. Excited to be here as well. I won't take up time with my well. That's me in a nutshell. I will add that I have 6 children. They're 11. They're 11, 9. And I have twins that just turned 3 years old. So Ebony, I'm with you. We got those 3-year-olds running around.
Ooh. Oh, I'm taking all of the notes from you, Charisse. God bless you. Yes. And lastly, we have Jessie, Mama Lips. I think her video went out for a second. Jessie, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So we will introduce Jessie. She is here. Jessie is an illustrator. Please check out her illustrations. They're bomb. Autism advocate and mom of 3 amazing kids. Her oldest is autistic and has taught her some incredible things about parenting a child on the spectrum. Her favorite things are pizza. Mine too. If there was the last food on this earth, as long as it's pizza, I'm fine. Running. I don't know how she finds time to run anymore, but she enjoys running, watching trash TV, and speaking her mind. Jessie, thank you for being with us today.
Honestly, thank you all for having me. Like Nicole said, I'm like so in awe because I'm getting to share a space with Nicole. She's like my upper diagonal on my frame, but because like she said, I've been following her for years and her tips are gold, but I'm so stoked and so honored to be on this panel, specifically talking about mother and careerhood. So I'm stoked.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, ladies. We are going to jump right into this conversation. For everyone that's joining the conversation today, if you have a question, please drop it in the Q&A. We'll make sure we save some time at the end of this session to get to those questions. But we're going to jump right into it with our first question of the afternoon. And this question is for everyone. So feel free to start, whoever wants to go first. Did your initial written schedule work out for you during the pandemic? How did you adapt if you needed to make any changes?
I can start. So I was pregnant at the start of the pandemic, gave birth during the pandemic, have been nursing during this entire time. So when we first went out, I know we thought this was a short-term thing. They told us, school will be closed for 2 weeks. They're going to clean up the building. We'll all get to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So I started out just very ambitious. Like, I have all of these activities planned. At 9:00, we'll do this, and I'll just work on the side. And I quickly had to pivot from that. Once this became a long-term thing, but then also one of the things that I always try to remind moms is like young children. My son is 4. Young children have no concept of time in a traditional sense. So having a really rigid schedule with young children really is like a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Instead, we moved to a more fluid schedule, which sometimes people might refer to as like a rhythm, where in the mornings we'll read a story together. And while mommy's working, you can do this independent activity. So they kind of have a sense of what's happening, what's coming next, but you're not bound to these really structured times. So if something happens in your workday or something happens, if the child is just not having a great day, and they wake up late or anything happens, you're not bound to that schedule to where it throws your entire day off. So I had to pivot. We created a rhythm where we had kind of very loose activities in the morning. We'll do this. In the afternoons, we do this. So that way he knew kind of what was coming next. And if we missed something, it wasn't this huge day. It wasn't this huge deal. It didn't throw off our day. And we were able to just naturally kind of move throughout our day.
Nice. That's really important. Jesse, how about you?
I am not one for a strict schedule to begin with. So when the pandemic happened, we were already kind of doing a shift. So I had just had Simone at the end of January, and everything was starting to shut down in March. So, and also at that time, we were moving our part-time nanny into full-time. So that was probably the biggest deal, because I knew that I was going crazy, being pregnant, trying to launch my business, working, and having the 2 kids. So the nanny that started full-time right when the pandemic hit was like the prime timing. And she just helped everything kind of flow all together.
That's amazing. I am glad you were able to keep your nanny and, all of safety precautions. It was taken care of, and she was there to save you and your family. I think we lost Charisse for a little while. So we're going to pivot into the next question. I myself, I'm the worst with schedules. So thank you for, verifying, Nicole, that we need to be fluid, because one day he's up at 8, one day it's 6:30 a.m. And my husband was working from home. So luckily September, we sent him back to daycare. But those 6 months, I was literally like only doing meetings, not work. So I am thankful I still have a job. Awesome. Let's jump into the next question. This question is for Jesse.
Oh, cool.
So how did you balance work, raising your children in a pandemic? What practical routines? I know you just said you're kind of fluid and you didn't really stick to one, but if there are any, what practical routines did you create in the home, and what did that look like for you?
So the main one that my husband, me, and my nanny did. Hey, Charisse.
Yeah. Am I back?
You're back. Yeah. Oh, and you're gone.
It's like we would, like he was there.
Our most practical thing is sharing a Google Calendar. So both me, Matt, and our nanny, Caitlin, have access to it. So whenever we add something to it, we all get the notification that this is what is happening on this day. And because Caitlin is with our family 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, she is our family. So she is involved in everything. And whenever anything is scheduled, like if Matt has to stay late at work or I have a conference or anything like that, it is in the calendar and we know nothing else can be scheduled around that time. That very simple thing can organize Jackson's therapies, like all of those things on there. And it helps us organize our life so much better. That's the only schedule I will stick to.
That is good. A Google Calendar. Charisse, you're back. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, while we have you, let's go to the next question, which is for you. So I know as moms, and I'm a rookie in the game, so I'm learning all the mom hacks. Can you share any mom hacks, whether that's snack time? We know all of a sudden these kids during the pandemic have their at-home snack stomachs, not the one they have at school. But are there any mom hacks around snack time, lunchtime, that will help a busy mama navigate raising kids and trying to work at the same time?
So something I've done, and I realized this like in having a school and having children at home, one of the reasons children don't snack at school is one, they are busy and involved in their activities during the day, and they don't have the option, and they're aware that they don't have the option. Like at school, you don't just walk into the kitchen and grab a snack. So, and I think at home, sometimes children get bored, and when you get bored, you want to eat. So with my children, we have set times that we're eating. Like we still eat breakfast at the same time every day. We have snack time built into the day. We have lunch time, afternoon snack time, and dinner time. And anything outside of those times, I literally leave a giant fruit bowl in the middle of the table. And I'm like, if you guys get hungry outside of our eating times, our snack times, you can always grab fruit. Like you can have fruit whenever you want. And there's a pitcher of water on the table with some cups. So I'm like, water and fruit, that's a go-to whenever you want, because I don't have to worry that they're overeating. I don't have to worry that it's unhealthy. I don't have to go get it for them. And because they know that I mean it, like they'll try it and be like, Mom, can I get some wheat thins? I'm like, nope, it's not snack time. You can go get some fruit. So they will either decide that they're not hungry or they'll go and grab a piece of fruit. But that seems to like work pretty well with us, is just having things that are accessible to them that is healthy, and then kind of shutting off the kitchen any other times that aren't eating times.
Nice. I need to do better in that department. I'm such a sucker. I'm like, I'm in the middle of a meeting. I don't care what you grab at this point. Just grab something and go away. So I need to get better in that department because I am weak when it comes to that. Awesome. So our next question.
Don't call yourself weak. That I just want to say that, because I think it's so easy for us as moms to like speak negatively to the things we do, but we have to make it work. We have to make it work. And there are days that I'm tired. I'm not a big TV mom. I don't like a lot of screen time, but there are days that I'm tired and I really want to break. And on those days, I'll be like, okay, yep, go watch Boss Baby. Go grab Cheetos for breakfast. Yes, we're doing it. Yep. Cheerios for dinner. Absolutely. Like we have those days and I'm so okay with it, you know, because sometimes for me on that day, the priority is my rest, or the priority is getting ready for my group. Like the priority is, I have to go based on what my needs are and my children's needs. And if their need is to eat and my need is for peace or work time, like we gonna meet both those needs. Health might not be the priority right now.
Yes, I love it. That is so good. So lollipops for breakfast every once in a while are not bad. Got it.
Yes.
So our next question is for Nicole. Nicole, what are some toys, activities, or games that you would recommend for engaging children without screens? Now I'm taking all notes right now.
Okay. So I always start like the toy discussion in an unpopular way with telling parents 9 times out of 10, you have too many toys. You have too much stuff. It's almost without fail. The grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, everyone buys all of the toys, all the things, something new comes out. Yeah. So like young children know how to play. They are wired to know how to play. And they also are very easily overstimulated. So when they have too many choices, too many toys that do too many things, it really lessens like the quality of their play, and their play is less meaningful. So I would start by taking an assessment of the things that you're currently doing, the things that you currently have, and really like observe your children. When you leave them alone with X toy, does that start an argument? Do they get frustrated? Really watch them to see the types of things and the types of things that they're doing. So then for toys, I always suggest things that are open-ended. So it means the toys don't do anything, like a magnetic tile, blocks, foam blocks, water, sensory play. Because when you give them toys that like do something, after it does the thing, then they want something else, and then they want something else. And the goal really is to get them to be able to play independently. So magnetic tiles are really great. Any type of blocks. One thing that works really well is if you create like either a morning basket, or sometimes people will call it like a busy box, where you just put a few items into something that's easy to grab. You can have even just like a plastic bin or a tub. You don't even have to have a really fancy bin or basket. You can put a couple of books in there, a few activities, like a Velcro type worksheet, like Majida from the Learning Cove that makes those really great binders, things like that, where they can do those things independently. I really enjoy sensory play. So water, shaving cream if you are into mess. If you're not, I understand, everyone is not. But we really like water play. And on my account, I recently just shared, I go to the Dollar Tree and like squirt bottles, funnels, measuring cups, and just a very shallow tub of water, and kids will play with that for a very long time, independently. If you like Play-Doh, that type of thing, I am not really a Play-Doh person. I see some no's. I am not really a Play-Doh person or a glitter person. But really, open-ended toys where children are allowed to use their imagination, and then you don't always have to buy new things. We've done so many different things with just one set of magnetic tiles. You can do sorting. You can write letters on there and start to do some beginning literacy type things. So less is more. Pare down what you have and really give kids the opportunity to use their imagination and creativity in the way that like they know how to do. You'd be amazed at the things that they come up with when they have those limited resources.
That is good. I'm due for like a purge of all of those toys. It's like holidays and birthdays, they play with it for an hour and then never touch it again.
Yep.
So I am over. I told my son before this new baby comes, like, you got to make room. Like, all this stuff has to go. But Magnus house, that's our thing. And now he's into Legos now, which I'm fine with. Unless I step on them, I am totally fine with them.
Painful.
Ebony, can I share a like little hack that I figured out that has worked really well with my children?
Yes.
With Legos?
So with our toys at home, I agree, Nicole. I love open-ended play, boxes, Legos, blocks, things like that. I absolutely love it because it does engage them for so much longer. But with all the toys that like family has brought that's in their rooms, if it ends up all on the floors, we have a rule that like you guys have to all have the rooms cleaned up by 7 p.m. And if by 7 p.m. the room is not cleaned up, I literally go through the house with a trash bag. And all of the toys that are still on the floor, I put them in a trash bag, and then I hold on to them until the end of the week, and then they can earn like Simms dollars. Our last name is Simms, so they can earn money throughout the week for being a good sibling, reading a certain amount of minutes, whatever it is they're doing, they can earn Simms dollars, and then at the end of the week, their stuff that I've picked up off the floor, they can go and like buy it back, but they also then really realize what's valuable. And if they don't want to buy these things back, we realize that now we can get them out of the house and donate them. So it's worked on a couple of different fronts.
That is real smart.
I like that. I like that. That is good. I need to do that one. All right, ladies, our last question, and this is for everyone on the panel. Can you share some tips on building out a schedule that incorporates children, and how much communicating with your job does it require? Like, is your job super flexible? Kind of understand we're all in this together, and how do you communicate with them juggling both?
I guess I'll start since I work for myself. I just go with the flow. I just communicate with Matt if I have like a big project that I need to work on with Matt or our nanny. As far as scheduling time with children or scheduling around the kids, if it's possible for me to schedule out play dates throughout the week, I will. And I need to make sure when I communicate who I'm planning that play date with, I know that I'm kind of a helicopter mom, so I need that other mom to know that where I am, and that if you're going to be out with me, we both need to be on the same level. Like, kids will never be out of eye or running distance. So that kind of my number there, but I need to make sure when I schedule it, I need to make sure I'm in that kind of like completely fenced in area or completely childproof area, specifically with someone like Jackson, who doesn't really have total recall, and he was tall and he will reach for things and all of that. So I need to make sure that who I'm scheduling time with is fully understanding and appreciative of that.
Love it. Love it. Charisse, Nicole?
Well, I work for myself as well, but I can say that even as the boss, I have to do a lot of communication. If there are other needs that need to be met, I have to communicate that with the team so that we're all on the same page. We're all in support of one another. And I have to be in good communication with my husband as well, because especially, we used to have outside support, and then during the pandemic, it was just me and him as the main support systems. And we definitely naturally fall into that, like, the kids are mine and the job is his. And even if I have my own business and my own job, like, the kids are mine, so I'm responsible for everything. So I really have to, like, kind of shift my Charisse, well, you have to communicate with him. You have to teach him, because my husband's never been like, no. He doesn't say no to supporting me or giving me time. He just doesn't naturally think about the fact that I need it. So it's easy to get mad for somebody you assume that they should know what you need and you haven't communicated it. And it's easy to get frustrated and be like, we've been in this for 12 and a half years. How you don't know now? And these are like real talk. This is my frustration. But he doesn't. He's different. His brain operates differently. So we have to do those Google Calendar things. We have to be in good communication. And then we're talking about work culture. So as an employer, I'm very big on my teachers being able to talk to me about what's going on and leaving room as an employer for things to come up that were unexpected, but also have systems in place so that you can really plan and strategize for time off, doctor's appointments, whatever it is. And as the employer, like, being sensitive to hiring moms and really creating that culture in the workspace where we're supportive of what's going on, about what it looks like, for them and their experience working as a mom. So I would say, like, work culture is important. And if you don't have a boss that wants to understand what it looks like for you and wants to be in support of that, I would encourage you to exit plan to find a support, because part of your team, it is, your support system is not just your family and your friends. It also is your workplace.
I strongly go behind that as well. Sure.
Absolutely.
Nicole, how about you?
So I agree 100% with Charisse. I work for the local government, and in my job, I do a lot of in-person, like, observations and things. And when we pivoted to virtual, my son was here. His school abruptly closed like everyone else, and I had a conversation with my boss. I tried for a couple of weeks, and in one of the other sessions, a mom shared how she was kind of like shooing her children away. And I just thought, the social emotional impact of that on my child, because they don't understand. This has always been home, and school has always been separate. So when I'm in the office, typically he could just come in and out as he pleased. So I realized these worlds are coexisting right now, and I need to name that for everybody involved. So I had a conversation with my boss. I felt very free to do that. I have a very generous employer. I know everyone does not, but like Charisse said, everyone here, I can tell just virtually, y'all are talented, and these companies, they need us. Like, moms are innovative. We're creative. We know how to pivot. So I think having very honest conversations with your employers and saying, this is what I need. And I think we've learned that once the schools open back up, so much of what we were doing in person can be done from home. My biggest challenge wasn't necessarily working from home. It was that I was working from home while also trying to parent at the same time and all of that. So I think very honest conversations with your employer. I schedule, when my son was doing at the start of the year, when he was doing virtual learning, I scheduled on Zoom with my son. I can't talk to you. I can't join your calls. There's nothing I can do on Zoom with my son. But for the rest of the day, I'm very committed to my job. I'm very committed to what I'm doing. But for that time, I have to be with my family, and they were understanding of that. But I had the conversation on the front end. So I didn't just put that on my calendar real bold, like, don't call me. I had the conversation on the front end. And I think that that's what moms, especially now, like, we should really feel empowered to do. They need us, y'all. They really do.
To really just use our voice, because we know what we need, and we just need to feel okay with saying it and requesting what we need. At least for me.
I want to add too, like, communicate with your children. Depending on how old your children are, children understand or have the ability to understand a lot more than we give them credit for. And as long as they still feel prioritized, one thing that I suggest parents can do is like, if you create a schedule similar to the one they have in the classroom and you have on there mommy and me time or parent and me time, you can actually tell them so that they're looking forward to, they're not wondering when they're going to get this time to tell you this story or show you this thing. And you can then, before you step into a meeting, tell them like, oh my God, playtime later. I can't wait for a game later. When is that going to happen again? Oh, at this. Okay, mommy's going to jump into this meeting real quick. And then I can't wait to tell you about my meeting after, and you can tell me about your play after. But I think like our children have now become a part of our own support systems. So I think sometimes involving them and like really trying to communicate them and telling them what it looks like. And with children too, a visual display of something they can see so they know what to expect and anticipate, whether it comes to your work schedule or their time that they have with you. I think those things are important and can help.
Absolutely. All right, we have 2 questions, so we're going to quickly go through them in Q&A because I know we're pretty much at time. A quick question for Charisse, from Charisse: at what age did you implement the SIM dollars?
I think implemented it a few, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So my oldest 8, and so they were like 8, 7, 5, 3, and newborns. So obviously the newborns, like they get it now because they're 3 now. They start to catch up and follow along. But the oldest was 8, and the youngest cognitively, like the one who could understand, was probably about 3.
Okay, that's the question I had too. So I will be implementing that tomorrow. Jessie,
you can try it with the 3-year-old. Sometimes I can't tell if the 3-year-olds get it because they have older siblings who are doing it and they're following the lead. You might have to like actually show them, and you might have to earn dollars as well, but they'll get it because even preschool, they do sticker systems and things like that. But yeah, I would say 3, 4 years old, 4 for sure. You could probably start to implement it.
Got it. So I gotta sacrifice my own hard work and dollars. I'll try it out. Jessie, last question for you. So this is anonymous. My son, who has ASD, struggled with adjusting to the transitions to his schedule during the Ponder replay. What tips do you have for unexpected changes?
Okay, so specifically for unexpected changes, that's going to vary heavily from child to child. I would recommend having something to help redirect them from the frustration of the surprise. So we have sensory toys and sensory bins scattered throughout the house and in the car, because specifically going into the car is our hardest one. I hope you potentially already have a visual schedule, like Charisse mentioned earlier. Those are great. That way kids can actually see and know what to expect. But for those random ones, if you have like a 5-minute head start, I would tell the kid like, hey, we're gonna be doing this in 5 minutes. Whether they acknowledge it or not, which they will hear you unless the child is deaf, but they will hear you, and hopefully it'll set in. And the more you do it, the more repetition, the easier it'll get. But those unexpected transitions are just going to be a part of life. So you got to kind of make it work. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Jessie. So we are at, well, a little over time. I mean, we obviously could talk about this for an hour because this has been our life for the last few months. But just to sum up some of what we talked about with these amazing ladies, your Working Mom Toolkit. What are those things that you need to put in there? Be fluid with your schedule. So just leave room in case you need to transition your schedule. Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, whatever calendar you use. Your husband might not read it, but hey, make the initiative and try to share a calendar so that everyone is on the same page. Assess toys. So make sure you're taking inventory and you don't have mega blocks still around when the child is 6. Go ahead and clean those out and kind of just transition those toys so that they aren't just overloaded with options. Bins are great things, whether they're sensory bins, snack bins, or just bins to put things in. It seems like that seems to be the going theme here. But again, thank you all. Thank you to Little Likes Kids for sponsoring this session. It has been a pleasure talking with you ladies. Hopefully, you know, this is our new normal. Like Nicole said, employers should be, you know, if you're not an entrepreneur, employers should be really blessed to have us there because we are moms. We are superheroes. We do hang up our capes sometimes, but we can do many things. And to that mama, I know there's at least one mama out there struggling to communicate with their employer, you know, how hard it is juggling both. Like Nicole said, go ahead and make that next step so that you can be a happy and whole mama at home and in your work life. But I thank you all for joining me this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of the evening and tomorrow's content. And thank you, Momference, for having me today.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies. Wait, ladies, I need our group picture. So go on and smile real quick.
Oh.
See? Oh, no, I didn't get it. Hold on. I was busy smiling. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
My laptop was dying. So when I like frantically jumped up, I was like, oh no.
I was like, is this a laptop or a child is running in there?
It wasn't outside of the working mom look though. So it was all good.
Yeah, it was pretty normal.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.